Hello and welcome. You're watching Money9 and this is Morning Markets. I'm Sakshi Batra. Well, the union budget has been done and dusted yesterday and the markets gave a green salute. A verdict of a 1 in 100 years kind of a budget or a historic budget. Call it what you may, because the markets have posted the best post-budget gains in yesterday's trading session. They also snapped the 6-day losing streak. Also that you talk about the Nifty and the Sensex, 5% gain on the benchmark indices as well. So a happy beginning for the week as well. Post the budget, whole lot of announcements to cheer, and definitely the absence of any COVID tax or wealth tax that was feared by the markets. Even as some of the wishes were not fulfilled, the markets still forgave all of that and forgot all of that, and definitely gave a big thumbs up to the union budget of 2021. Let's quickly check what was the market closing yesterday like, including the benchmark indices, including the broader market space as well. So there you can see it on your screens, 5% jump for the Sensex, 2,314 points jump. Now, this is the second biggest point jump for the Sensex in its history. Again, a 646-point jump for the Nifty. 14,281 was the closing level of Nifty. The Nifty Bank, in fact, closed with its all-time high levels, jumping over 8.2 or 8.3% in trade yesterday. 25.23, that was the point gain that we saw on the Nifty Bank. It was leading all the sectoral movers. The banks were clearly happy and were cheering all the moves around and all the announcements around, ARC, the stressed assets, the management of all of that. And also the PSU banking space was cheering away the privatization announcement of 2 PSU banks in the future course in time. Also, the broader markets were quite happy. Even though they actually underperformed the benchmark indices, you could actually see a 3% jump on the mid-cap index with a 550-point jump. Also with the 2% jump for the small cap index as well. 365 points got added in yesterday's trading session, and over to 18,300 was the level that we actually saw the small cap index really trading at. So a whole lot of measures were announced regarding the capex that actually got enhanced in the union budget. Also the infrastructure push that actually the government gave this time around, not worrying too much about the fiscal deficit and going in an expansion mode, which would actually put the economy back on track as well. Let's quickly see how the sectoral movers moved in yesterday's trading session. We did see that the Nifty Bank was leading. Also, if you see the Nifty Auto Index, that was cheering away the announcement of the vehicle scrappage policy. Now the details will be awaited and the Ministry of Road and Transport will come out with all the details, and all eyes are on whether the incentives will be given for all the private car owners for the scrappage as well. The financial services up again 7.5% in trade. FMCG was up in trade. Also the IT and media, also metals were cheering away in yesterday's trading session. It was only the pharma index that actually lost in trade yesterday, 0.5% loss over there. But other than that, even the realty stocks were cheering the announcement on the tax or the affordable housing on interest swaps that were announced over there. 6.3% jump for the realty index as well. The infra index also was up about 5% on the announcement around the infrastructure space as well. Let's quickly go on to see which were the stocks that actually helped the index rise so high in yesterday's trading session as well. If you see, there have been some names like Titan. They were also cheering some names, some announcements around the import duty cut on gold and silver. So all of those sentimental moves we were also seeing, but definitely the Nifty was actually led by most of the banking names in yesterday's trading session. IndusInd Bank up 15%. This was a kind of a jump that you don't really see on an everyday basis. 13% kind of a jump on ICICI Bank, and remember, these are all heavyweights, and any even a mild 2 or 3% move really helps the index rise higher. But yesterday it was up and all away. Bajaj Finserv, State Bank of India, and also L&T from the infrastructure space, you can see double-digit returns from all of these stocks in yesterday's trading session. Let's also keep an eye on the losers in yesterday's trading session. As pointed out in the sectors, the pharma index lost, and that's what you can actually see in terms of the Nifty losers in yesterday's trading session. Dr. Reddy is down about 3.6%, Cipla also down about 2.4%, Tech Mahindra, Hindustan Lever, and also if you see UPL, they were also losing in yesterday's trading session. Moving on to all kinds of cues that we are looking at for the Indian markets today. Whether the momentum that we built in yesterday's trading session, will that go on in today's trading session or not as well? So let's quickly, look at how the U.S. markets closed and what kind of expectations can we have for the Indian markets then today. So the U.S. markets actually opened with gains and in fact closed also with gains, leaving behind or snapping the losing streak that they were witnessing in the previous sessions. 0.7% jump for the Dow Jones, also 1.5% jump for S&P 500, and the Nasdaq was leading 2.5% jump over there for the Nasdaq as well. 332 points jump for the Nasdaq over there, you can see. So positive cues from the US markets. Let's also see how the Asian markets began trading and what kind of cues we are getting from the Asian markets too. So all green screen in that as well. So, we can expect opening in the green as well. Nikkei, Hang Seng and Shanghai Composite, all of them up about 0.5% to 1% up in trade in today's morning trade. And that's what the cues that we are picking up. Let's quickly keep an eye on SGX Nifty as well and to see what kind of opening can we expect for the Indian markets today. So 0.75% kind of again, that's 107 points. 14,470 is the level that SGX Nifty is trading at. So you can expect a gap up opening even in today's trading session. We'll just have to see how much more upside do we have for the markets. And throughout our market coverage today, we'll be speaking to technical guests and fundamental guests as well to give you a view of how should you approach the markets right after the budget as well. Moving on, let's also see how the money market has performed in yesterday's trading session. The dollar rupee, if you see the rupee actually, weakened in trade yesterday. 73.03 was it trading at against the dollar. That's a weakness of about 0.10% in trade yesterday. Let's also see how the crude was trading and how it closed in yesterday's trading session. Now, the Brent crude also moved up yesterday, and it is again showing a bit of green even in today's trading session. Both Brent and WTI crude, gaining over 1% in trade today. Brent trading at $56.95 to the barrel, while WTI, that's the NYMEX crude, also trading at $54 to the barrel in today's trading session. That's up 0.62 or just 1.5% up in trade today. Moving on to, what kind of stocks that you need to keep an eye on in today's trading session. A whole lot of stocks again will be in focus, not just because of the earnings factor, but also because yesterday, although it did get diluted in yesterday's trading session, the auto sales numbers also came in yesterday, and we did see a whole lot of companies report their earnings after the market hours. Even Eicher Motors came out with their results, and Castrol, these are the stocks that will be in focus today. You can talk about Castrol. The company actually reported higher profit in its Q3 profits. The 582 crore rupees is the kind of profit that it actually garnered in Q3 of FY21, that's the December quarter. And when you compare it to about 187 crores kind of a profit that it had garnered in the last year, same quarter as well. Eicher Motors from the auto space will be in focus because of the auto sales that it has reported for the month of January. So the company sold about 68,887 units of Royal Enfield in January. When you compare it to the previous year, same month, that's January 2020, 63,520 were the units that were sold in the previous year. So there is a jump over there, and that is what can get reflected in today's trading session as well. Already Eicher Motors was up about 3.5% in yesterday's trading session. So we'll just have to see how much more upside do we see because of this data as well. Now, from the entertainment space, if you see, PVR will be in focus again because the company has set the issue price for its QIP of 1440 rupees per share, and it has also raised about 800 crore rupees for that. And remember, after the lockdown, this is the second QIP raise that the company has gone out for. So there could be some kind of, movement up in trade yesterday. Just look at it, 7.5%. I don't remember during the lockdown if we actually saw this kind of trade, unless and until when the lockdown was released. That was a day when we also saw some move on these kind of stocks, but 7.5% is really incredible for a stock like PVR in yesterday's trading session, and that's despite the fact that nothing really was announced with respect to consumption, so that the people would go out and spend, in the movies, and that's the kind of move that you've also seen on PVR as well. Whole lot of results being reported today as well, so keep an eye out on these stocks that are on your screens. You talk about Cera Sanitary Ware, Dhanuka Agritech, Escorts, HDFC, Iron Exchange, Wonderla Holidays, Airways, NOSIL, also Tata Consumer Products and Tata Investment. All of these will be in focus today. Also, Ajanta Pharma will be reporting, and HDFC will be the big wig that will be reporting its results today. Balrampur Chini will be another one that you need to keep an eye on. Let's quickly move on to all the stocks that you can keep an eye out on as per the recommendations by technical analysts on Money9. So the first stock that has been recommended right before the markets open and you can keep an eye over here is from Ruchit Jain from Angel Broking. Kotak Mahindra Bank is what he is really betting on. The target price you can keep is 1865. The stop loss of about 1760. There was a 5% jump in yesterday's trading session and it's a buy call. You can still expect more upside in today's trading session. Ruchit Jain has also bet big on Indigo. That's the next stock that he's keeping an eye out on. Remember, there was another 6.5% jump that we saw in yesterday's trading session during the market jump, but the target price that they have kept on the stock is 1710 and 1600 is the stop loss that you need to maintain on this stock going on from here for a buy list. Another stock from his radar would be from the auto space, and that would be M&M. That's Mahindra and Mahindra. Again, the stock has been on the radar for a long time. 6% jump yesterday also on the vehicle scrappage policy. That was the sentimental move that we saw over there. The stop loss could be maintained at 772. 825 is the target price that you really need to maintain on this stock. A buy call from Ruchit Jain on this as well. The other three stock recommendations are from Mazhar Mohammed from Chartview In, and he recommends the first stock on JK Tires. That's a stock that he is keeping on his buy radar as well. The stop loss you need to maintain is 107 on the stock with 145 kind of a target, although the target is like just mildly up. The last trading price was about 130, 129, but still for a short-term trade you can definitely take this bet. Another stock that you can keep your eye on will be Coforge from Mazhar Mohammed, and that's again a buy call from Mazhar Mohammed on this. A 1% jump was seen in yesterday's trading session. The stop loss you can maintain on the stock is 23.17. The target you need to keep on the stock is 25.70 on the upside, and that's something that you can keep an eye on. Now, from the FMCG space, which has been buzzing for a quite long time, at least in the last 2.5 weeks, we have been seeing that the FMCG index also has been rising. Of course, the absence of any kind of detrimental news in the budget will further push upside to this stock. A buy call on another stock will be on Britannia. The stock price will be about 35.21. That was the last trading price. 0.5% up is what we saw on yesterday's trading session. The stop loss that you can maintain on this stock would be 34.70 with a target price of 36.20 on this stock going on from here. So with that, we'll just quickly leave you at that. We'll wrap up this show because we'll quickly come up with the other opening shows also for you. Joining us next will be technical experts who will be sharing their picks as well. So a whole lot of trades that you can actually pick in today's trading session. But don't forget, today is the last day of our budget conclave. A whole lot of discussion with panelists and also industry experts will be happening around what they really make of the budget and what impact do they expect on the economy in the long term as well. So stay tuned with us on Money9.